Okay, so let's actually go through the Mendeley software. Okay, I have actually downloaded it now, so I can open it, and pretty much this is the interface. Okay, that would be displayed once you open Mendeley. All right, now the first thing that you want to do is you want to organize your references. Okay, so as you know, you might actually be doing multiple assignments as well, for instance. So you want to, make sure that the references that you download for one assignment, are organized in a specific folder, so to speak, so that they don't, you don't mix them with the references from another assignment that you're doing. Of course, we're going to apply this principle as well for our dissertation, our thesis. So I'm going to first and foremost create a collection. Okay, so I'm going to click here and I'm going to name, okay, this folder, this collection as they are referred to in Mendeley, and I can call this MBA dissertation, okay. And once I click enter, okay, I have created that folder. So now let's go through the different type of references that you might need to have include or that you might encounter when doing your dissertation. Now, most of the times, okay, the great thing about this is that pretty much all the resources that you're going to use, as we will see, whether you take them from a database, from a journal article online, or maybe on Google Scholar, as I've seen, as I've already displayed, um, you can pretty much export them to Mendeley. So it's going to be very easy. But in case that maybe you're using a particular resource, whether it is a physical book or even, an online article that for some reason, okay, or a particular a website maybe that has official information about something like a statistics website, for example, about a country. It might be a bit tricky to export that, but just in case, that's when you need to do what we call a manual entry. Okay, but even though this is going to be relatively the hardest, okay, example, because you have to insert the information yourself, um, that it's still going to be quite easy because Mendel is still going to be doing most of the work for you. So we're going to go to add new, okay, because we want to add, all right, a new reference, and we're going to add an entry manually, okay. And oftentimes, okay, you can actually even insert certain, you know, fields which will create the rest of the fields for you. All right, so let's say it's a book in this case. Okay, book section, if it is a book written by multiple authors, okay, so you want to specifically um, refer to that section. But for this example, we will use an example of a book. Let's say you're using a book, a physical book that you cannot find a way to export to Mendeley, so that you have to enter the reference manually yourself. As you will see, okay, even if it's a physical book, most of the time you can still do. There's a little trick which I will show momentarily to export it. But just in case, okay, this is how you can do a manual entry. So I will select book and automatically, all right, Mendeley is going to give you the fields that you need to fill, okay, in order to, um, uh, create that reference. So then you will check out the book and fill accordingly, okay, the title, the authors, okay, the year, etc. So let's say we are using this book, Principles of Marketing, okay, by Kotler, the one from 2015, for instance, okay. And you can actually have a look online, and it will give you different information about the book, okay. There are different online pages that will give you that information, okay. So let's actually start filling the book, okay. So the title would be, for example, Principles of Marketing, okay. So here it's telling me how I have to write the author, so it's surname first, comma, and then the name. So that would be Kotler, comma, okay, Philip, okay. If there's another author, just click on the plus, okay, and insert it in the same manner. All right, and the year would be 2015, for instance. You can also, okay, add the pages to be more specific. If it is, for example, the second edition, okay, you can write, you know, the edition, okay, the number. Make sure that you also follow if there are any labels, okay, instructing you how you can insert the fields. All right, if there's an editor, same thing, okay, it is instructing you how you can do that, okay. Publisher, we can say, for example, Pearson. This will all be displayed on the book title page, okay, and you can even look at it online, okay. And with that, we can actually, okay, we fill the important fields and we can add the entry. Okay, not all the fields have to be filled, of course, the main ones. Okay, um, and here I have created the reference. Okay, now very important. Okay, once I create the reference, it is important that I don't just leave it here floating around, but I actually link it to the respective uh, folder or collection. Okay, so I can actually, all right, click on it there, and when I click on organize, I can add to collection and then select the MBA dissertation collection and add it there. So when I actually do that, all right, it will be displayed in the MBA dissertation folder. Another way to do it actually is that I can drag it, all right, and leave it there, and once I open the MBA dissertation now, it's going to be also there. So that was the manual entry. Okay, so I'll show a couple of more examples. In this case, let's say that you are searching online from a database, okay, which is quite common. All right, so I've actually opened a couple of databases that you can use, okay, quite popular, Science Direct, Wiley, okay, and EBSCO, okay, EBSCO host, quite, these are also multidisciplinary databases, quite, effective. And let's say I want to search about working hours effect on employees. Okay, so I hit type and hit enter, and it will start displaying the different results. Okay, let's say I actually see the abstract, which gives you a bit of information about the respective article to see how in line is it and valuable to your research, and if you think from the abstract it's a good read for your research, you will go ahead and check it out. And in this case, okay, let's say we've actually gone through it, it's quite a good article, so I want to use it for my dissertation. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to export. Okay, every database has its own interface, but you will start noticing, okay, certain similarities. So I want to export, and in order to save to Mendeley, we need to export the citation to RIS, okay, as an RIS file. Once we do that, it will be downloaded. Okay, it will be downloaded, and once we go on our Mendeley, okay, software, we can actually go to add new, and now we do not need to enter that reference manually. We're going to import from the library. Okay, so this time we do not need to do a manual entry. We will still go on add new because we're adding a new reference, but instead we're going to click on import library, and we're going to import it as an RIS file, which we've just saved when we downloaded it. And from the downloads, okay, we will select that file that we've just downloaded, and once we open it, okay, it will be generated as a reference there. Okay, quite easy. All right, we just imported it, and now all we need to do, very importantly, okay, we need to include it here in our MBA dissertation folder. So once again, we can um, drag it, okay, from here and take it to that folder. And now the MBA dissertation will contain both those references. Okay, I'll go through another example. Okay, as I mentioned, every database is different. All right, so let me actually go to EBSCO now. Okay, this is the interface for EBSCO. You can actually pre-refine your search. Okay, maybe I can click on full text as well. And it will start generating different results. Okay, now for these examples, okay, maybe I can use this one, okay, or this one. Okay, you have the HTML, you can view the entire article online, or the PDF. Okay, these are just ways to refine your search, but for this example I'm going to use this one. Okay, so let's say I want this article because it's again relevant to my research. Okay, and as you notice, okay, the interface is very different from the previous database. That's going to be normal, but okay, and the more you practice searching to different databases, the more you're going to um, learn to navigate better around them. And here we have that export button that we used similarly in the other database. And again, very important, okay, I want to download it directly as an RIS file in RIS format, okay, which is what Mendeley works with. I'm going to save it. Okay, once I do that, it would be downloaded once again, and again I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to go on Mendeley, add new, import from library, import library, and I'm going to import an RIS file. I will find it from the download, so I just download it, okay, this time from EBSCO, and once I open it, again, the reference will be generated, all right? Once that happens, it is very important that, okay, when we click on all references, which is where the references immediately come after we've just imported them. Okay, by default, we have to take that again to our folder for the dissertation, because imagine you might have other references here that you've used for other assignments, okay, and you do not want to get confused, so immediately take them to the folder. Okay, so that's with regards to importing from different databases. It might be the case, maybe you're searching on another database, okay, and so you're typing working hours effect on employees, okay, and you start going to the different results, but maybe, okay, you might have a little bit of a problem to reference the article. Okay, so in terms of exporting it, maybe the interface is a bit less user friendly. For instance, okay, again, here you can see the export citations, but for the case of putting it as an example, all right. So let's say I want to use this article. So if you are using it from a database, but you cannot seem to find the way how you can export it, okay, there's a little trick. You can also use this trick, okay, if you're using a resource, even a physical book, and you cannot therefore directly import it online. But what you can do is when there is a resource that you cannot import very easily, you can go on Google Scholar. All right, you can go on Google Scholar, click on Google Scholar, which we've previously also done. Now, before you actually search, it is important to click on the settings from here and scroll a bit down. And in this little option, you will click on show links to import citations and leave it as refman. Okay, select refman, reference manager, and click save. Okay, now we're going to copy the title of the article that we couldn't directly export from the database, and most of the time, okay, Google Scholar is going to find it even if it doesn't have the article itself. Okay, it will most of the time generate the reference. Okay, it will generate the reference. So what you do then is you want to import into refman. From here you want to select that option. Okay, again, it will be downloaded as an RIS file. You can go from RefWorks, okay, sorry, from Mendeley, add new, again, import library, use the RIS file that you just downloaded, and when you open it, okay, here it is, all right, the reference is generated very easily, and again, you can drag it to the MBA dissertation collection. Okay, I will also use another example with this. So let's say the book that we used of Philip Kotler, okay, that we had to use a manual entry for. Before using the manual entry, always check if you can actually get the reference directly from Google Scholar, because oftentimes, okay, when that happens, it can actually be quite easy. Okay, so let's say again I go to Google Scholar, I type Principles of Marketing, there it is, Kotler 2015. Even if the book is not completely available, okay, you're going to find oftentimes the reference. Okay, so I will go again on here. I have this option now since I adjusted those settings, import into refman. The RIS file will be downloaded. Okay, I will actually delete the manual entry that I did so that I won't have a duplicate. Okay, the important is that I've shown how you can do it. Okay, so I will delete that, and now, okay, I will add new, again import from library RIS file, and I will select the latest download that I have listed. And here, okay, I have generated the book reference, okay, automatically, which I can then drag and download to the MBA dissertation folder. Okay, so when I click there, I have all the references which I have been saving throughout my research, and at the end of the day, okay, in the end it's going to be very easy to generate the bibliography, as we will C. Okay. The files that you've been using, the RIS files that you've been using, okay, you can then go ahead and delete them from the downloads, from your computer downloads folder. Okay, you wouldn't need them anymore after you've have imported them into Mendeley.